the end of this game.
Both teams have lined up, neither of them wanting to go for aggression. I always love the early aggression, so it always makes me sad when I see teams just go for the very standard, no, we just want to protect our jungle. I want to see them go in. I want to see some early fighting, some skirmishing coming in.
Yeah, these last two games have had range supports, and traditionally when people do go aggressive, we saw it was with the Thresh or the Nautilus, champions who have a long range, essentially in a sense, form of engaging with a hook. Or even then with like a Braum or a Leona. Like these champions are really good at starting a fight. But
Morgana
could maybe, but
Ooh, Fortnite getting the first ward. That means it's GG, right?
Yeah, the gold lead.
Yeah.
Gold lead. Game's over.
Yeah.
Already gold lead at 1 minute 40 seconds. But no, Oregon right now is going to be able to just hard push the Sion at least early on in this matchup. Sion, if he's able to get like a pressure advantage, essentially, he can clear the wave really fast. But Urgot already, we're just seeing just presses W and just clears that wave with his passive.
Look at the path that Bubu's taking. Gone red buff straight to the Scuttle Crab already. Trying to look for an early pressure on Fortnite. Try to see if he can help out this top lane. You already mentioned how Urgot's pretty much going to shove in Sion early. Might as well try to see if he can get a kill with Jarvan, who's very powerful in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, and then Chug Jug seems to have just now finished his second camp? Oh, wait, no, he must have done 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, he went blue buff and then went towards wolves, and that's it. That's all he's gotten so far.
He has 8 CS though.
Yeah, 2 camps.
But no, blue buff 1, wolves.
Yeah, no, you can't as 4. Remember?
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know they did that with the numbers.
Yeah, all jungle camps count as 4 when you get them.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Alright, well, yeah. Alright, okay, so yeah, so 2 camps. So yeah, Bubu, I guess, kind of wasted a lot of time then going from red to Scuttle, trying to hover around, see where he wants to go afterwards. So, looking to opt to just start doing his jungle again normal. And, I thought we were missing some aggression from the junglers, but they kind of just missed each other.
Bubu did try to go for the gank top lane, but Fortnite pretty much saw it on the ward and backed off perfectly. Didn't waste any time, didn't get caught out, didn't even have to burn a flash. Well done on the side of the Kansas, making sure not to get caught out too early on. But we'll probably see Bubu constantly looking for this pressure. Is kind of noted with his pathing that he's more than likely looking for the Scuttle Crab in the bot lane. Was pinged out by Chug Jug Brain. So with them now being spotted out, they know he's bot side, and you already saw Jump King and Crazy Legs backing off in the bot lane.
Yeah, so right now the pressure is going slightly towards Ashland's favor. Sorry, and although I guess we're just gonna have to wait really, because at this point in the game, it's pretty much dictated by which lanes do Brain or Bubu go. Because the lanes are relatively even. They're both trying to farm or trying to find some way to get a pick off. Shikoro, we're seeing him push this lane, but Gucci just doesn't care. Like, he's Galio. He doesn't take any damage from the Orianna here. So, yeah, the game is just going at a really slow pace right now, and at this point though, like, which team wants the slow pace? Is it the Zaya, and oh, never mind, not a slow pace at all.
Got the knockup. Flash does not have the taunt. Goody Gucci was a little bit too late on going for the flash taunt, so actually flashed right when the taunt had already exploded, so wasn't able to get the chain CC on the Shikoro.
Alright, yeah, so it looks like Ashland did want to start that fight, but yeah, as you said, like, flash a little bit late. I don't think even with the flash though, they had necessarily the damage to finish off Shikoro, since Bubu doesn't really have a lot of burst damage, and he didn't hit the Q when he used the dash, so I think even with the, like, if Shikoro got hit by the taunt, he would have been alright. But he does not have TP and out of mana, so as long as Gucci can push him out of his lane, make it much more difficult for him to get more CS.
That's probably what will be the name of the game coming in for Goody Gucci, trying to make sure to force Shikoro to stay in this lane as much as possible with as little mana, but Goody Gucci's also out of mana, so we'll have to recall, which could be the point in time where Shikoro just clears out the minions, goes for the back, because the lane will have to be then reset, and won't have to worry about losing out too much.
And we're looking at that top lane fight as just pretty much a, the wet noodle fight. We all remember from like Season 7, but the CS disparity is quite massive. 8 CS already, which is a whole wave in favor of League like Fortnite. So I think right now we're seeing like the Argot lane already kind of putting a lot of pressure to Sion.
That can also be said that the same in the mid lane. Gucci has a pretty decent CS lead over Shikoro, who now went for the back, but like I said, was a little bit too late. Had to go the moment Gucci went for the back. Had to clear out the minion wave and then go for the recall. Instead, tried to push the wave back to Gucci, who has teleport, was able to catch that before it caught the tower, and now has a significant lead over Shikoro.
Yeah, and since Brain was covering mid lane for his mid laner, Bubu decided, hey, look, 3 jungle camps to take away from the enemy jungler. So right now, Ashland just having that sort of, because the laners are ahead, or at least because the mid lane is ahead, like there's a lot of pressure for Bubu to sort of play around those camps.
Look at Ada. Look where Ada's playing right now. He's gonna try to see if he can join into these fights. Level 6 is available for Gucci. Goes for the heroic entrance, gets the knockout, flag and drag onto Chug Brain, gets the shockwave, but it's gonna be the taunt on the 2 members. We like Fortnite trying to help out, but here comes the 2 train. Ada was able to get the knockup with the slam down. That is going to be Ignite burning on a Gucci, but it's not going to be the kill. He's too tanky at this point, with only 2 members alive for the side of Kansas. They have to get out of there. They already lost Chug Brain. They can't fight more.
A good flash there from Bubu because the Shikoro ulti was going to hit him, but he just gets out of there just in time. And then Chug kind of overstays with Gucci just walking up to him and kind of walks back into that queue there, giving first blood to Ashland. And then obviously with the Scion now coming in the fight as well, Fortnite can't really do a whole lot with the giant Scion just saying, like, hey, what's up? You want to brawl? You don't do any damage to me at this point. But yeah, no, a fight that started out with Chug going onto the Jarvan, and then you have the Galio responding with the ultimate. So that's one of the main reasons I think that this Galio pick is so strong, is that even if his team is getting engaged on, he can respond to it with his ultimate. Or if we're going the other way and they're engaging on the enemy, then Galio says, I'm coming too!
And this is why I liked this composition looking at it in draft, because Jarvan with Galio, as well as the Scion to bring the choo-choo train behind them, it's just so much engaged that it's really difficult for Kansas to be able to properly respond. And honestly, that fight could have actually been a little bit more even. I think Fortnite missed the Fear Beyond Death on to Bubu, so wasn't able to get the pullback, wasn't able to get the fear that could have possibly saved the life of Chug Brain.
Yeah, so, but he does still have this massive CS lead in relative to the lane. But now I think Ada has gone to a point now where he can, at the very least, go even with CS. So for every wave that Fortnite gets, Ada should get the same one. But now in bot lane, it might be a different story if this game goes successful.
That's a level 6 for Bubu as well, so has Cataclysm. Might want to see if they can pop that Featherstorm from Jump Kingman. But right now playing very passively. Dark Binding connects onto Crazy Legs, and with the level 6 just coming up for Crazy Legs, not going to be able to use the Tidal Wave, and will lose his life.
And Nobel just barely clipping Crazy Legs with that Binding was pretty much going to secure that kill. And once Crazy Legs saw that he got hit with the Binding, it was over. No point in flashing. No way he was going to get out of there in time. And that's going to give a lot of pressure for bot lane here. Ashland, I don't think they can get the turret just now, but they also were too scared to try to go for the dragon. So at least get a lot of damage here. But yeah, that just gets that damage and Bubu with the Dark Harvest stack for him to take home with him.
They don't have any clue where Chug Brain is, so it would have been a little bit risky trying to go for the Infernal Drake. Well, of course they would love that for Bubu as well as for Fish and Tux. They have to be careful. They have to make sure that they're getting the vision control, which they just did now. So they could try to see if they go for the Infernal, but instead they're backing off because Chug goes for the invade and steals away the blue.
And Fortnite has swapped out his teleport for Ignite because of that previous fight. So because of that, he can't use teleport for quite a while, and he has to either burn the Ignite so that he can quickly switch back to teleport, or perhaps...
Sorry about the disconnect, guys. We just had a little bit of an issue behind the scenes, but we're back into the game now. There was a good pick coming in from Biao. He did trade his own life, unfortunately, in the fight. But right now, Ashland's still sitting heavily in the driver's seat. Flash forward from Biao. Wanted to see if he can connect it onto Shikoto, but unfortunately did not hit the Dark Binding.
Yeah, at that point now, Biao doesn't really mind if he's dying as long as he's getting a stack for his worries. So, Ashland, again, because they have that commanding lead with Jarvan and Galio, goes in with these fights and can do so much damage to the team of Kansas. And the main thing is that Chug, these ultimates aren't doing what they should be doing. He's either missing them all right, or all completely, or just like just they're not you use defensively not to start a fight. So with Sejuani, you really want to be going in and try to get this like disruption for your team. But with Sejuani on the back foot like this, Kansas will only be falling further and further behind as BBU gets more and more damage.
Possibly one of the reasons we haven't been seeing so much Sejuani lately is just how much he struggles in the early games with such aggressive junglers like Gragas, like Jarvan, that can punish her heavily before she can actually have that useful ult. The Glacial Prison only having been used once so far, and that was point blank range, not really doing so much, and now just coming off of cooldown, but it's so late. Rift Herald popped in bot lane will surely mean the first tower going over to the side of Ashland. They're going to keep snowballing this lead as they sit 3,000 gold ahead at 14.5 minutes.
Yeah, as we said, the main, the core of this team comp for Ashland is that Kai'Sa, and while it's not at the point yet, their early game has also been so strong off this draft that they can allow this Kai'Sa to farm up and get just any kind of lead that they want, right? So the first first turret gold already given to Kai'Sa as well. They're gonna swap her over to top side, and that's gonna have to force Fortnite and Jump King and Crazy Legs as well to swap and oh my god, another gank.
Oh, look at this. The Shockwave even in the pit does not really help you because that absurd amount of damage coming in from Biobao as well as Gudaguchi. Poor Shikoro couldn't really do much in that fight.
And it's something that while Shikoro doesn't have flash, Buba can do this as long as his ult is off cooldown. And look, I think my math is right here by saying that Cataclysm is a shorter cooldown than flash.
Just a little bit. As right now, Chug Brain dodges away from the top, but gets hit up by that ultimate. Great done by the side of Ashland as they just have all 5 members here, and they should be able to take a free tier 1.
Yeah, it's easy to see that Chugga decided to go in aggressively like that without anyone to back him up in terms of damage. Sejuani, used to be a pretty top tier pick, but her damage has not been the same in a long time. So without Zaya wasn't there, Shikoro has probably just respawned, and Urgot was nowhere to be seen, using his teleport earlier to try to change over to help that mid fight. So I don't know, there's a bit of a strange decision making there because Ashland at this point in time can turn whenever they want. Jarvan, Flag and Drag is on a relatively short cooldown. Same with the Galio taunt. So right now though, Kansas does have the push, but do they actually have the damage?
That's gonna be something we'll have to see because they only get a little bit of damage to the tier 1. They're still good engages. Biobao was able to land a crucial Dark Binding, but it doesn't really help when you get dragged back into the battle and you give a fear over to We Like Fortnite. Biobao having to dodge away from the battle. Flash forward coming in from Jug Brain as he gets the kill underneath the turret. This is actually looking devastating for Ashland. They do turn a little bit of damage back, but it's not really that helpful when you already lost 2 members in the fight and the siege continues from Kansas.
The main thing right now is that Ashland doesn't have any of its cooldowns. So the Jarvan ulti, the Sion ulti, and we're all still down for that fight. So Kansas saying, hey, let's just invest whatever we can to just try to get a kill. And the Orion ulti catching the Morgana, who is also very squishy, is something that Kansas needed. They needed that sort of breathing room to get the mid pressure. But the question is it enough for them to come back to this game? We get to see the next fight, who starts it, and how does it end up?
This is, like you said, we'll find out how it's going to help out Kansas in the next fight because off that fight, even though they were able to get 2 kills for only 1, they weren't able to get a turret. So they're still sitting pretty far behind in gold, almost 4,000 in favor of Ashland. This could be bad, especially with the next dragon spawning up. Looking at a Cloud Drake, which isn't necessarily the worst thing to give up, but it gives more map pressure to the side of Ashland.
And again, now looking at the vision, look at how much control and how many wards Biobao is giving for his team here on the bottom side. Dragon is up, and there is no other objective to take for Kansas. And right now, it looks to be that they're going to try to get the top turret as sort of a reconsolation prize. But this is a dragon now for Ashland. The Sion being used over at
trying to
mid
see
lane.
if they can get the pick on Shikoro, who's running away, but just goes over the wall instead. Now chasing up into the top lane, but this is actually a beneficial trade for Kansas. They get themselves a turret, they minimize the gold a little bit because they're falling behind. You look over towards the item difference. It's like most of it being in the in the jungle, especially for Biobao, who sitting with the Warrior Enchant already has a Tiamat as well as a Phage compared to just the Cinderhawk and a Spectral Cowl from Chug.
Yeah, and right now, a ton of damage being dealt to that bottom turret. But we saw Biu gets hit by just one attack, command, and dissonance from Chikoro. Actually chunked him out pretty heavily. So he's going for a really dangerous build because he's so squishy, but he has a lot of damage to work with as long as he doesn't get caught out like he kind of is right now.
Shockwave onto him with the Glacial Prison, but the Dark Binding was actually able to save him alongside of that Black Shield, barely keeping him alive, but not able to steal away the blue buff.
Yeah, so at the very least, Ashland do, at least they come out with the blue buff, but Kansas shows that, if Biu gets caught out, he's dead. He's going to die so fast. Shikoro, who finally built Torch Shoes, and the Luden Zeka, who's completed as well. So, at that point, again, yeah, it's Kansas trying to get these really good picks on the squishy targets. He can't be using ultimates on the Scion or the Galio because they're not the ones that are doing the damage to their team.
Plus the side of Kansas getting themselves another turret in mid. Keep crawling the gold lead further and further back towards them. Now it's a 2,600 gold deficit that they find themselves on. Much better than the 4,000 they were in just a minute ago.
Yeah, but right now, without the Sejuani ulti or the Orianna ulti, they're probably not going to try to start a fight anytime soon. Oh, never mind! The Orianna ulti just came back up!
With Dobiao going a little bit too far forward, just gives them a free kill. And unfortunate for the side of Ashland, they were doing so great in the early game, but great capitalization coming in from Kansas to punish a little bit of an overstep from Ashland.
I think at that point, Ashland should be trying to get Biu to try to find these fights, right? Jarvan's the one who should be instigating it because he has the flag and drag, plus the Cataclysm, which can be followed up with the Galio ulti and the Scion ulti. These fights, realistically, it's Ashland that has more tools to work with, but it seems that Kansas has been able to say, hey, we have the vision at the right spots where we want it, and if we find anyone caught out, we're just going to go for them, because they can't be greedy with who they try to kill at this moment.
Completely agree with you. They have to make sure that they're just looking for these picks what they have, and Ashland, actually Biu, we're a little bit too far forward, has the flag and drag, Dark Binding connects on the Jug. Did have Glacial Prison. A little surprised we didn't see the trigger pulled from Sejuani to try to see if they can get the pick onto Jarvan, but like you said, they're playing passively. They're playing respectfully of Ashland.
I think right now Jug is being a lot more conservative with the use of his ult, but not Ada. He's going in.
Ada always wants to go in. You cannot bubble a charging Scion who wants to charge his way into your back line. They will be able to disengage, but it is the flash burn from Crazy Legs.
With that, Ashland is able to get, let's say, vision control over the Baron, which has now spawned, but they do miss out on a pretty big ult for their team fighting potential. But with the TP now, Ada decided, hey, you know what? Bot lane seems to be pushing up. Let's see if we can get this turret while his team pressures the Baron. And now we'll see, what does Kansas do? It looks like they're grouping up as 5 to counteract this Baron. Fortnite does not have TP right now.
But Ada does, so he's constantly pushing in these minion waves. Probably will be able to take that tier 2 in the bot lane, unless the side of Kansas can force this Baron quickly enough to get that TP out of Ada so that he's not able to just take down and demolish that turret.
Yeah, this Summoner Spellbook usage here by Fortnite has been somewhat questionable because he's gone for both Barrier and Exhaust, which are for his team to be team fighting. But at the moment, they haven't really fought in a while. They've also been doing picks. They saw Biu, they saw Dobiao.
Oh no! Crazy Legs got caught out right now. Bubble does not connect. They want the flag and drag to connect, and that is the tidal wave a little bit too late with the Cataclysm to lock in Jug Brain as well. Shockwave could be used, but here comes the heroic entrance to give the extra resistance to Biu. Shockwave finally used, but a little bit too late. Doesn't do enough damage. Dark Binding connects on the Jug Brain. They might look for the flash from Gucci. Shikadu Kodo underneath the turret still. And now jumping forward, but Jumpman is here. You don't really have that engaged. Kaisa not in the area just yet. They're going to be able to get at least a 3-man taunt, but that's going to be the stopwatch for now. The delay from Gucci pulled back in by the Fear Beyond Death to get the double fear, but finally Fishing touches Fear. They're trying to see if they can turn it around, but it's a lot of tankiness on the side of Fortnite. That's finally what they needed though. Fish in, Tuck goes for the killer instinct. It's going to be the slams down from Ada, double kill, and now Biu showing back up somehow, turning it around and getting a delayed ace. Crazy Legs just having come back off of respawn.
That fight lasted so long, but it allowed the Kaisa, which is again the main damage, the single target damage dealer for Ashland, to get in there and just start chunking down Urgot. When Kaisa wasn't there, Urgot was just like, what's going on? I'm being tickled. Kaisa comes in, it's like, spreads the Urgot, and then that leaves a really squishy, relatively squishy, I would say, Xayah and Sejuani to just sort of try to see if they can finish out the Kaisa. Really great ultimate there to prevent his death, and as well as the Scion is just doing damage as much as he can. So yeah, that fight though, really awkward, like mess and a little bit messy from both sides. They were just trying to figure out, like, targeting was pretty much, who's closest and who can we kill really fast, because Chikoro using the ultimate on what I originally thought was really wasteful because he only hit one of his people, but what was even worse with the Galio ulti, which only hit one person. It's just, wow, these team fights are just so out of, like, just so everywhere.
Very, very crazy, out of control from both teams. Only really benefiting the side of Ashland, though, because the gold lead was being caught up on Kansas. They were finally getting gold more and more, but now they're finding themselves even further in the hole, so they have to be careful as they look to potentially have another 5 versus 5 fight around the second cloud break that spawned. Yubi taking pretty low, has to be careful. Fear Beyond Death is back up cooldown for Fortnite. Got the stun on Ada. Not necessarily the person you want to worry about, as Gudaguchi chasing on to jump. Does get the taunt, but here comes the Fear Beyond Death. It's going to be a trade mid laner for AD carry. Turn it back around with a beautiful shockwave coming in from Chikoro. Now the rest of Ashland have to run away from the battle because they already lost everyone that is important. The damage dealers of Yu and Fish in Tux are gone.
So much was invested onto Jump Kingman there that as soon as, even if he dies, there are other damage dealers available for Kansas. They have the Urgot and the Orion to work around. And at this point now, Urgot he's just unstoppable. Nothing can really stop him or even, like, hold him down long enough for Kaisa to even try to kill him. Especially with how much damage he's putting out with his W and passive. That's probably going to be a Baron, because there is no jungler available for Ashland. But they're just trying to contest it anyway.
They're gonna go in at it, trying to see what he can do to disrupt the team, but it's only him against the world. There's a smite on Chug Brain, and all he needs to do is hit it and get it for Kansas. It's pretty easy for them, but maybe could be the re-engage. Gudaguchi does get the cleanse out of Fortnite. Should be able to escape. 5 members hold on to the Baron on Kansas.
And this is kind of where the risk of having pretty much an offensive Jarvan comes into play, is because even if he goes in, he just pops immediately. So if Jarvan doesn't manage to get a kill and get out, then you're not really completely making use of that Jarvan, because his Dark Harvest is really good if he can stay in the fight, gets a stack, hit someone, gets a stack, hit someone else, and just continues getting this damage out. If he just dies after the first kill, you're not really fully utilizing it. Whereas the other team members are staying alive when Jarvan goes onto them. And aside from Zaya, who's still doing a lot of damage, even when she gets jumped on, it's really hard to kill her immediately.
Exactly. Featherstorm, as well as having a decent amount of heal coming in from Crazy Legs, Fortnite, Chug Brain, Chikoto. It's going to be very difficult, especially when Bobiao gets caught out like that, has to flash forward. Soul Shackles onto 3 members, but the Shockwave onto 3 is so much better. Bobiao trying to do what he can to take out Chikoto, but he's by himself against the world. Everyone on the side of Ashland is falling. And only now did Ada show up into the fight, but it's way too late. The siege continues from Kansas.
I think he's trying to get these picks with his Dark Binding, but he's the one getting picked instead, because even if he does land one of them, the other 4 members just jump straight onto him. And Bubi, we saw there, he went as hard as he could onto Chikoro, but doesn't have the damage to actually kill him.
5 members strong from Kansas there. Open up the base. Is there anything that Ashland can do to fight back at this moment? They keep losing. They were having such a great early game, and now they finally find themselves behind 2,000 gold to Kansas.
It was just that Bubi was, we talked about this the last time we saw Dark Harvest again. You needed to be just a little bit more proactive. He has a lot more stacks this time compared to before, but with Dark Harvest, you really can't be hoping to get the game to 45 minutes, to 50 minutes when that damage really starts to scale. You have to be doing more proactive and just start getting more kills, because these games end really quickly now. And Kansas has a team that is better suited around a 35-minute, 45-minute game. Whereas,
exactly.
Yeah, with Kaisa, you're still waiting on the Kaisa's 3rd item. So she hasn't gotten really the attack speed, or the AP, or the damage really, to destroy Urgot. Because right now, Urgot is so tanky. He's tankier than the Sejuani, who is supposed to be the tank.
Plus, both Fortnite and Chug have Gargoyle Stone Plate. So you're talking about tankiness from Urgot. Well, Sejuani might not be as tanky as Urgot, but she's gonna be doing a pretty good job. Chikoto flashes away from Yu. Here comes Ada with the charge forward. Is gonna be able to connect. Jug may have wanted to beat that because here comes the heroic entrance into that backline, getting the shutdown on the Chikoto, but Fortnite, can he do what he did last time? Can he get the Fear Beyond Death with a massive stun? But it's not going to really help out when they already lose Fish and Tuck. And here's Bubu getting exhausted. Double kill for Chug Jug Brain, flashing forward for the stun, but they need to get on to Dobiao as Ada takes just so many shots from the shotgun knees. Can't do anything, and it is a huge win from him.
There's so many resources invested onto Shikoro, but then there is still Urgot and Zaya. Like, what do you, like, you're investing so
This
many
could be the game.
Yeah, they try to get a, they try to win a, pretty much get a pick off, but in front of the Kansas turret. So obviously the Kansas is gonna be able to collapse incredibly fast, and because all the ults are down for Ashland, Kansas just says, "All right, cool. Like we win this fight then," because they only lose off of the ults.
Higuchi trying to delay as long as possible. These cooldowns are coming down. People are responding, but the Nexus is being wailed away. Jumpman keeps up the aggression, but he shuts down as well as Fortnite. Only person on the left is Chug Jug. Can he make the hero play? He needs to get these autos, but it's a shutdown for Fish and Tuck. The game will continue.
I mean, at that point, yeah, Kansas was trying to see if they can at least get the kill. It was a good effort, I would say, but I don't think this, like, having the ace brings Ashland back in the game so far because of how they've been making their choices and how they've been starting these fights. There is no Nexus turrets available left. I mean, now we can maybe hope for possibly a TP Peke coming out of Fortnite, but like, if Ashland wants to stay in this game, they have to A, not get caught by Kansas, and also B, when they do catch someone on Ashland, make sure that it's a quick kill. They go in and they go out. They can't be staying in these fights if they're using all of their important cooldowns on just one person.
Completely agree. Shikoto did a great job at kiting back and delaying for so long. Sure lost his life in the fight, but how much was blown onto that Orianna made it so that Kansas were able to make that push, almost end the game. Maybe a little bit too ambitious trying to go for the end at that exact moment with how low the respawn timers are, but they're still the ones firmly in the driver's seat of this game.
Yeah, and right now, Ashland just, Kaisa has finally got her third item, going for the pure AP build for the Rabadon and the Nash's Tooth with the Gunsus as well. I think that's a little risky, I guess, because since Bubu is going to be the more attack damage focused heavy carry, he's not building damage anymore, so he's going to scale and fall off really badly into the late game here. Whereas the Sejuani is going pure tank, so I don't think she's quite as worried in terms of like taking a lot of damage. She's fine to just go in, especially with the support of her team.
Exactly, and this build from Bubu is much more of the split push style that you see from Jarvan, trying to be in a side lane, but you're the jungler. You don't have TP. You can't force the fights around you. You're the one trying to get into this backline, so could end up paying very poorly for the side of Ashland, depending on how well he can pick someone off. If he can get Shikoto quickly with spread away from his team and not have it delayed so long, that could be the end for Ashland, but we saw what happened last time.
Yeah, but I think one more thing to note is that Fish and Tuck, kind of like his usable range is really short, and that gives Fortnite like a lot of opportunities to just sort of walk in front and force Fish and Tuck to this awkward form of combat. But now, like Akaya started,
comes the charge in with the heroic entrance, should be able to get the double knockup. That's a lot of damage. This time they burn him really quick, so they don't have to worry about the shot. But it's not going to help out when you already lose your Kaisa, and now she's doing so much damage on the sideline, not even being pinned down. Trying to storm up into the air. Bubu couldn't finish off Zaya. This should be an easy cleanup. Coming in for Jump King. Ada doing what he can, but it's not going to really help out when you can't get on to Jumpman. He's just kiting way too well. And that is it for Ashland. They only have Gudaguchi once again.
The team fight is, the focus for Ashland was on the Shikoro and I believe Fortnite, but no one was on Jump Kingman. When Fish and Tux tried to go in onto him, Jump Kingman, he shredded him incredibly quickly. And because of the awkward fight comparison between Zaya and Kaisa, Zaya, who's all crit, is going to shred Kaisa, and with that fight, Kansas just push and win the game.
Kansas, Wesleyan are able to take this victory over Ashland, even though they had a devastating early game. We thought Ashland had the game, similar to like we saw in the last game. It just ended up being whoever had the best